Good morning, everybody. How are you today? All righty. So, we've had a couple weeks so far. Hopefully, you're getting in the groove of the posting and the replying and all kind of the way an online class works. I hope you're finding it interesting to dialogue with your fellow students and think about kind of the things that we're talking about. This week, we're going to talk about research methods and we have to talk about things that have been kind of part of the history of the sciences that have been horrendous and heinous and kind of a shame and a blight to our character as humans, because we've used science as a tool to exploit people, and just different ways in which the sciences have been kind of willy-nilly among people who didn't have power. And so there's one example of the Tuskegee syphilis study that you're going to learn about this week. And it's really important for all of us to be very mindful if we're going to be researchers, because humans are fascinating, but we have to treat them with great care if we're going to use them for any sort of scientific study. And there's a whole concept of, researchers historically, what we would use the term playing God, and using their power to learn about bodies or psyches of people without thinking about their well-being. And that's not cool. So you're going to read and think about research and ethics this week, and you're also going to do something which is about compiling your own sex history. And I want to run through this assignment with you. This is your first assignment, like beyond just posts, and so I want to be clear about it. There are 25 questions that are down here. You can obviously make them bigger because they're tiny, but you also can download the PDF of it. So however you see fit to, access it, it's there. But I want you to be really mindful that I do not want you to turn these answers in. This is a private exercise that you'll do for yourself. I'd like you to answer them. I'd like you to take some time. I'd like you to sit and reflect on what you answered. And then after you do that, I'd like you to just provide an 8 to 10 sentence share about what you learned. Just write me a note, basically. And that's what'll be where you put, that's what you'll upload basically is just a response to answering these questions. Because they're personal questions and they're all for you to reflect on. I don't need to know, but I do want you to reflect, okay? So almost never fails that I say this, and look, there's this little yellow that says not. Some of you are going to turn it in. I'm going to tell you one more time. Don't turn in the answers to those questions. Just reflect on them, all right? Reach out to me if you have questions about that. All right, so I want to go back, and I want to show you something, and I want to put out an invitation. So you have an OER course book, and it's called Our Sexual Selves, and it was created by myself and a student based on, a couple years ago, based on what we thought was all open source material, open educational resources. What we've since learned is that some of the material is not open source, and after referring back to it, I've decided that I'm going to write a new one. So what creating a reader is like there's some front and back matter that myself, or whoever would be the author, but in this case it would be myself, is actually doing the writing. And then I'm compiling, different interest area experts to contribute to these sections based on the topics. So I know this sounds very complicated, but it's really not. So if anybody is interested in helping work on that project, I would open my arms to you and welcome you. I have a fellow colleague and myself are going to spend the next year putting it together, but between now and the end of the semester, if any of these topics are interesting to you and you feel like I really want to spend some time doing deeper research, I can meet with you, or we can talk on email, and I can help you figure out what it means for something to be open educational resources. And truth be told is that a lot of the stuff in the book that I have now was open source when we put it together. And since then, like Boundless and Sailor are two of the companies have been bought out. And so they're no longer open. So I'm going to need to shift a lot of content to cover the same topics, but to be done in an open educational resource format, because that's the whole idea behind this book, is that it's open, it's remixable, anybody can use it, anybody can grab it and edit it and just adopt it to their liking. So please, if that sounds like a fun project for you, let me know. We could probably do independent study where you got credit for it if that's what you were looking for. We could just, figure out a way you'll get credit in the new book. Your name will be in there. You'll be acknowledged. So think about it. It's going to be my work for the next year. So I would love to see if any students wanted to help, because the one thing I love about this open kind of educational resource kind of paradigm is that it's not just top down, like a teacher says read this, like ideally students are also contributing to the process. And so why not have it be one of you if that strikes your fancy. All right, I'm done babbling, so you know what you need to do this week, and I look forward to reading posts. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope you all have a very nice early February. Happy Black History Month. There's a few events that perhaps throughout the course of the semester will be taking place both at College of Marin and at Sonoma State, where I also teach, and so I may be just sending you messages, oh, this event's taking place, this event's taking place. Always good to expand your horizons and learn something, and support the idea that that is an important bit of information that we don't talk about enough year round. So all right, take good care. Apologies for the dogs, they're always annoying. Take care. Bye.